Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is Delta back with another Call of Duty Mobile video, where today we are going to be talking about the BK57, the best class setup, stats comparison, recoil test, and a bit of gameplay at the end for you. So right before the video starts, make sure to subscribe, comment what gun you would like to see next, or what type of video you would like to see next. Share the video with your friends if you think it is useful, and leave a like. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also leave your COD Mobile username, but let's get right into the video. So first of all, we're going to be starting with the stats comparison. Now I know a lot of people have been telling me not to do this, but I think it is pretty useful, so I'll just speed run through it. So starting with damage, it has a base damage of 48. However, it actually comes 6th out of all 8 assault rifles, beaten by the AK-117, the M16, the Type 25, the AK-47, and the ASM-10. They always beat the BK57 in damage. Next, we have fire rate, and it is actually 3rd out of all 8 assault rifles. It is beaten by the AK-117 and the Type 25. Next, we have the accuracy, and it is 2nd or 3rd out of 8 assault rifles, because the M4 has the highest accuracy, and we have a base accuracy of 65 for the BK57, which is actually tied with the LK24, but they are both beaten by the king of accuracy, M4. Next, we have the mobility, and all ARs actually have a mobility of 60. Unfortunately, the SM-10 has a mobility of 55, which is actually pretty sad. Poor ASM-10. And finally, we have range, and it is pretty bad because it is beaten by the M6. It has a base range of 50 and mobility of 60. It is beaten by the M16. It is beaten by the AK-47, and it is beaten by the ASM-10. However, it is tied with the LK24, so that was the stats comparison for you all. Sorry if that took a long time, but I still think it's pretty useful. And I also made a class setup based on these stats. So if you guys are saying it's useless, it's not always that useless. As you see, for the BK57, it does have an accuracy that is tied with the LK24 for 2nd place, which is why I did not actually put a foregrip, because really this gun has almost no recoil. All you have to do is drag down a little with the first 10 shots, and then you're good. So I put a laser sight for those close range encounters. I always put a red dot sight. What is this? Yeah, laser sight. We also have a quick draw just to shoot ADS faster, and we always put that foregrip. Stock is optional if you want to replace it with laser sight. Laser sight and stock are interchangeable, but I prefer laser sight in my opinion. Next, I would say for the BK57, agile and flak jacket are the best. You don't really need lightweight. I really only say if you're like a super aggressive player, put lightweight, but other than that, if a BK7 is not a rushing weapon, so I would say agile or flak jacket are the best perks, red perks for this weapon. I always use toughness, and I always use a dead silence. I also put the trophy system, which is really good, and I put just a regular frag grenade, and my secondary weapon will always be a rocket launcher. It's just so good. Especially in S&D, it's like a free kill, essentially. And we also have the Sparrow because it is hands down the best operator skill in the game. So now, that was stats comparison and class setup. Now, let's move to the range test. Alright, so here are all the ranges for the BK57. Now, let me break it down for you. On the left column, we have distances from our target in meters. In the next column over, we have how many body shots it takes to kill your opponent from that distance. Now, bars depleted body shots means how many bars of health were depleted after each shot from the body. And if you didn't know, when you're actually fighting your opponent, you can actually see their health. They have 6 bars of health, and basically it is telling how many shots, or how many bars were depleted or taken away with each shot. So here, every shot took away 1.5 bars of health. Next column over, we have the number of headshots it took to kill your opponent from the specified distance, and bars depleted. How many bars it took, how many bars were depleted with each shot. Now, I found something interesting. At 10 meters, it actually takes more shots to kill your opponent than if you were standing 20 meters away from them. And I think this is due to bullet acceleration, where the bullet actually speeds up the further it travels, and obviously the bullet is traveling faster, it will hit you harder. However, in the other distances, we have bullet deceleration, or bullet fall off range, where the bullet actually slows down. So the bullet is traveling faster at 20 meters than it is at 10 meters, and the bullet is traveling slower after that. So that is the range test. I'm not going to go through all these values. You can look at them yourself. Now let's head over to the ADS and recoil test. Alright, so we're back with the next test, which is the recoil and ADS speed test. So let's start with demonstrating our 3 loadouts. Here we have a BK57 for our ADS test. We have a quick draw and the agile perk, and along with the vertical foregrip. Here we have just a BK57 with a quick draw, and here with no perk for no agile perk and no quick draw. So let's start with that. So starting off with this BK57 with no perks, no agile perk, and no quick draw. Let's see how it works. So as you can see, it's fairly slow, and especially if you're going to be sprinting and then you scope in, especially when you're sliding and jumping, it takes a long time. Like, it is absolutely crazy. It is very slow. Like, I don't even think the AK-117 was that bad. So let's get into the next BK57. So here we have a BK57 with the quick draw, but no agile perk. So let's see how fast this is. As you can see, it's a lot snappier. As you can see, it's kind of slow, and then it snaps onto its target. However, when you're running, it is still pretty fast. When you're sliding, it is just a little bit faster. I don't think you need the agile perk. It's not too bad, but you can either put agile or flak jacket, as I told you earlier. But as you can see, it's pretty good. So let's get on to our final BK57. Now we have a BK57 with both the agile perk and the quick draw attachment. So let's see how it is. As you can see, very snappy, extremely snappy. And as you can see, when you're running, it just snaps onto your target, no questions asked. And when you're sliding, it is very fast. This is my kind of style. Fast-paced ADS. I cannot deal with slow ADS speeds. It hurts me inside. I'm not even joking. So now that that's done, let's get to the recoil test. Here we have a regular BK57, no attachments, no vertical foregrip. And what we do is we stand at this wall and we aim at this here, or this bottom bar right here. Now we are going to begin. So I'm not going to be controlling recoil. I'm just going to be holding down the shoot button. And so as you see, the BK57 has somewhat of a curve pattern. Let's watch that again. As you see, it is a random... We already know that vertical recoil always ends up in the same spot. However, with the BK57, horizontal recoil is highly unpredictable. Sometimes it makes wide curves, sometimes it makes small curves and then a wide curve. But it is very, very hard to control. Although the accuracy is tied for second place, which is interesting. So that was the BK57 without a vertical foregrip. Now let's try one with a vertical foregrip. So guys, now we have a BK57 with the vertical foregrip. So again, let's start a test. Start from the middle of this wall right here. And again, no recoil control. Let's do this. So as you can see, the recoil is much more manageable. And you're never going to have to fire your entire mag unless you are missing your shots. But as you can see, horizontal recoil, yet again, very unpredictable. However, this BK57 travels about half the distance of a regular BK57 without a vertical foregrip. The regular one travels to about this line right here, and this one with this BK with a vertical foregrip travels to about there. So let's see that one more time just to demonstrate. Full magazine with extended mag. As you can see, not too much recoil. It is actually highly manageable. It is highly efficient to put a vertical foregrip on this. But if you are a bit better at the game, I wouldn't sweat it. I would say trade out that vertical foregrip for something like a laser sight or a stock. So that was it for this video. I'm gonna roll some gameplay. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like. Comment on the video, subscribe if you're new and you want to see more content like this, and share the video if you have I already said that? Whatever. Subscribe, comment, like, and share, and leave your COD Mobile username in the description. But that is all for today. This is Delta signing off, and I will see you all in the next one.